Morning, everybody. Well, it's 1 o'clock, but I've been actually up for a couple of hours now, more than that. I fed the girls, fed the kids, spent some time in the patio with the kids, and a little bit coolish out there, but bright. So we get one of the boys there, This one's I think Elsie. That one's Finn. You can tell by the knots. So it's the day after, and Agita is there. And all three girls were out here just a little while ago, but they've had their breakfast and they sunned on the deck for a while, and I think now they're either in the bush or under the deck or even in the shed. They're now starting to use the shed, particularly at night. When it gets colder, last night I saw all three of them were in their heated shelters. Peanut and Bcee were in one, and Jill was at the other. There were two more. Got 4 shelters in there. So anyway, the news is I had a pretty good night. Posted the latest podcast. I mean, it's just, not a lot of news, but just, day by day struggling. And got up, fed the kids, fed the ferals, spent some time in the patio. And I was looking, what am I going to do for breakfast? And I was just going to have toast. And I checked the mail, and look at this. I even talked about this, I think, in the last podcast. I could do a little altercation at the post office when I was sending the donation check for what's in here. And this is my friend in another province, does canning and fundraising, and she does all kinds of, and she raises funds every summer. And makes all kinds of pickles and jellies and jams, and she's really, really good at it. And she sent me a couple last year, hot pepper jelly, and they were excellent. And I've been like salivating. So this year I said I want more. I want as many as you can make. So she said 8, and she does it. She's going to do it in two batches. So this is the first 4. I haven't opened it yet. It's a little bashed here, but I know my friend. She really packs well. So I haven't even opened it, but I think they will be fine. I've taken them out of the box, and now they're in out of the packaging, and now they're in another box. Merlot, like some wine or something. But let me open it up. And one of the kids is investigating. One of the boys. I think this is Elsie. Sweetheart, this is very spicy. This is not for you all. But and I'm not actually surprised that they're absolutely intact, because my friend is meticulous. Yeah, I think it was like a wine something in the box. But left and like a bubble wrap. This is labeled, and it's like pepper jelly, and 2024. I don't think she needed to put that, because it's going to be gone within a few weeks. So, but yeah, just in case. Cheese and homemade super hot pepper jelly sandwiches. I'm really, really looking forward to this. I'm going to eat it. The pepper jelly was absolutely outstanding. Excellent. I had 3 sandwiches. One of the boys, and I think that this one is Elsie. I don't feel the knot. Elsie. So one of the boys is there, Elsie, and the other 2 is Finn on the bed with social distance from Agita. And I'm just going to lay down here and try to work on journal entries. So far I've been distracted because of the pepper jelly. And it was very nice. I fed the kids, I fed the ferals, I did all of that. So now I'm going to see if I can do a journal entry and maybe do a bit of writing if I can. And I have to assemble the water fountain. I got another water fountain for the kids to drink from. But this one's harder to assemble, so I'm going to have to look at the instructions very carefully and see if I can do it. Anyway, that's what's happening. Bye for now. During the day, and I managed to at least assemble the new, I had to follow YouTube videos, the new water fountain. So Gita's drinking from that. I had to pick her up and bring her here. She was like, why are you picking me up? She doesn't like that. But when she saw the water fountain, I mean, she loves the water fountain, so she's drinking away. I got one of the boys, and I think that's Finn there. And the other boy, I think this is Elsie here, I have to check to see if there's a knot. There's a knot, so this is Finn. This one's Elsie. Gita is still drinking from the new fountain, and I've plugged in the old fountain here. I just have to get new filters for it. I'm going to try to do some writing, and then I've got to clean up. Tuesday is my cleaning up day because I have to put out the garbage. So I'll get the garbage together, just quickly wipe and clean the litter boxes and stuff like that, and feed the kids. And I'll have like a frozen pizza, and I get lots and lots of pepper jelly. So there have been a little bit of posts today, but I haven't checked the postings or anything. There's been a poll to do so, but I'm just going to try to write instead. I have worked in journal entries, and I've fed the kids, and I've done all of that stuff, and I've assembled the thing. Later in the day, I cleaned the house a bit. I fed the ferals, I fed the kids. I did a little bit of writing, journal entry stuff like that. So now I'm just going to do some reading. Boys are playing there. I get this here. It's raining a bit outside, but the ferals were in the shed, in the shelters. Bye for now. Now later in the day, and we've got one of the boys there. And we've got the other boy here on the new, and I think this is Elf. The one under the bed is Finn, and there's Agita. I bought this cat condo today. So that, both of them can sleep here at night near me. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but he's squeezed in. So the other boy's under the bed. But we've got another cat condo here. As if we don't have enough cat condos over here. But had an okay day, did a bit of writing. There were some polls. But I did go and get the cat condo and got some takeout Indian food. Everybody, it's the next day, and happy birthday, Agita! It happens to be Agita's 15th birthday. So I gave she's the one who loves these water fountains. The boys will just drink out of a bowl. They'll drink out of this when I plug them in. But so I bought this like last week before the binge, and then I didn't get around to assembling it, and then I ended up assembling it yesterday, and today's her birthday, so it's her birthday present. She really likes it too. They've got two now. I was putting that one in the kitchen, but she likes to drink her water here, so she can choose between the two, fountains. Happy birthday, Agita. Love you very, very much. You know that, and your brothers do too. Not sure why, because you bully them so much. But the brothers are very sweet. And there's one of the boys, I think it's lcee, and they were up to a little bit of, mayhem mischief this morning because there was a box of donuts from 3-4 days ago on there. It was one of those ones I just got from Giant Tiger or something. I opened the door to this room and I went back to bed, and then later the door just rolled over the floor. I think they tried to eat one or two, but they're a little sweet for them. So and it's not chocolate, so I don't think it's going to be as bad for them as eating chocolate. But still, so they were up to their little bit of celebrating their sister's birthday with a little bit of mischief. So we get one of the boys there, and I think that's lcee. And the other boy here, and this is Finn, I can see the knot, And we had a good night. They tried out the new cat condo. It was more a gift for them than for the sister. But they tried it out in the evening, but at night, everybody just settled in their usual spots, Later in the day, fed the ferals, fed the kids. The ferals were in the shed, in the shelter. Gives us some more food. Did a little bit of writing today, and it was just a nice birthday of Agita's at home with the kids. So just watching some streaming, and I'll have some leftover takeout food. And I'm really enjoying having everybody here. They're not really using that one, but I prefer him to be cuddled next to me anyway. Bye for now. Hello everybody, it's later in the day. We've got lcee settled nicely there on the new cat perch, and we've got Finn settled on the previous one, on the older one, and we've got Agita over there on her bed, the birthday girl. I just had some leftover takeout Indian food from yesterday, and I'm just watching some streaming. Got some writing done today, fed the ferals, fed the kids. The ferals are in the shed with the heated thing on, heated shelters because it's getting a bit cool. Suddenly, today I fed the kids, fed the ferals, everything's fine, and then I remembered that there might be some kind of film festival event happening here in town. It's a very small film festival, but I got here like just in time to see one of the films, for really interesting, about a guy struggling with addiction. Filmmaker, actor from Toronto, also in Hollywood, actually really good. Very dramatic and, semi-autobiographical, and it kind of worked for me. So I came here and I got a wristband so I can, the rest of there's other things, there's short films now and stuff. So I just went and had a very quick slice of pizza, and I'm back. So it's cultural stuff here in Chatham. Bye for now. It's just the right timing for me. Bye for now. But it was actually a pretty good day because I ended up going to the local film festival. And there was one at noon, and a couple of short films, and then at 2:30, and then I went home. I went to PetSmart. I went home. I fed the ferals, and I just gave the inside kids dry food and water. And I came back, and because you buy the ticket for the day, and it covers the entire day. So I saw the third film, the third. It's the next morning. Agita's here. She was unhappy because her brothers tried to play with her again. They do it every morning. So we had a bit of hysterics from her, but that's kind of normal. So we got Agita there, and we got one of the boys here. And we got one of the boys there. And the ferals are all on the deck at the back. There. You can see them through the bush. There's Jill and Peanut, and I just saw Bcee going over that way. There's Bcee. Had a good night's sleep, and I decided I might as well go to the film festival again today. It's something to do. It supports the film festival people here. There's hardly any viewers. So and the films are actually not bad. I looked at today's schedule. There's a couple that I might not like that much or be interested in, but it's worth going, and you get the whole day for like $15. It's all worth it. I'm here at the venue again. Going to see the films for today's festival. Bye for now. Hello everybody. I spent the day at the film festival. Just had very short break for lunch from 2 to 2:30. So I grabbed Harvey's veggie burger, ate in the car, but I was still a little late getting back. I think it was like 2:10 by the time I actually left the place and got to the Harvey's and then picked up and came back. So I was a little late coming in, but it was very good. And then the filmmakers were there. There were several very good films, So, and there was a really good film from 6:30 to 8:30, and then there were awards. So after the awards, there's not too many places open in Chatham after 9 o'clock. But shucks, some kid, some human child. Somebody brought a human child like 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. It's screaming. So anyway, so after all that film watching and stuff, actually went to PetSmart as well, in between, during the break between the afternoon and the evening. So I went to PetSmart, went back, fed the ferals, saw the kids, and then saw the evening block of films, and stayed for the awards, just because there weren't too many people there, and I want to sort of support the mostly local filmmakers, artists, So it was good. It's the next day, and I had a fairly good day. Fed the ferals, fed the kids, did a little writing, caught up on journal entries, which I hadn't done much on over the weekend because it's the film festival, and did some laundry, went out and got takeout food, Indian food, and just ate while watching TV streaming after feeding kids, feeding ferals, turning on their heated shelters. It's getting cold out there now. So we got everybody very nicely settled. It's a couple of days later, and we've got Agita there, and we've got one of the boys there, and I think this one is lcee, and I think we've got the other boy there. under the bed, and I think that's Finn. And it's Halloween! Happy Samhain to everyone. I'm probably going to post this in a day or two, so it'll be like a belated Happy Samhain Halloween. I usually do it the day before or the day of, and I go, have a safe Samhain and stuff. But since I'll be posting it later, it's kind of in retrospect. So I think I may have overstocked on the candies just a little bit. So far, I've had 3 kids come. It's 7:30. So I got all kinds of Cheetos and the few kids that I've had, they really like these ones. I should have remembered that from last year. So, and then I go into my Nutty Professor routine. Actually, since I have a little time here, I've got no customers, I might as well talk a little bit. Last couple of days have been okay. I mean, busy, distracted. I went out for a very, very nice dinner with my friends yesterday, my friends' neighbors, and I got some Halloween gifts for the kids and for Jack. And Jack was just here. He was, and there was one very annoying human kid. So it was so nice to see Jack. And Jack came and he had some treats, and I put them down the thing. And I got some Halloween toys for my own kids and for Jack there, So I'll give them later, I've already given some. I gave Jack some yesterday when I saw his parents, and I gave my kids some this morning. And then after all the trick-or-treating, look at all the shit I bought, So I enjoyed it last year, and I kind of went into my Nutty Professor shtick, and it's got a little bit of a distraction, and a little bit of kind of role playing. So and my cat dad thing, and I got this hat with cat thingies on it, there. So last couple of days, I don't think I've posted in 2-3 days. So I did do a little bit more writing. I did write a bit more about the kind of adventures in the underworld from a little bit of a distance now, and so just to get it down and to process it for myself. So I did that, and then I was preparing for yesterday because I knew that I'd be going out with my friends and my neighbors, and I bought some toys and stuff for Jack and for my kids for Halloween, and I was kind of preparing for this. And then today I went and so we had very nice drinks and conversation, and the other neighbors were supposed to come, but they had an emergency with their house, so they couldn't make it. But Jack's parents and myself, we had a very nice conversation, and I'm fairly honest with them about the struggles and stuff. So it was really good. I had a couple of drinks and came back, and I'd already fed the feral, fed the kids, and then this morning, I fed the feral, fed the kids, give them some Halloween toys, and I went out for a nice lunch because it's Halloween. So I went to a new restaurant in town. It wasn't great, so I went there, and then I already had way too many boxes, and I bought a couple more, and then I bought these those rockets as chasers, and I was thinking of that when we were having the drinks yesterday, like doing like a cocktail thing for the kids, so you can have like a savory with the popcorn, and then a chocolate course, and then there, and you got some sweet and sour stuff there, and you got a chaser of that, and you can mix them all and get those, you got Maynards, and you got those, and it's sort of like a cocktail of candies. And I got so much that I'm like going, you can have we'll start with 5, pick one of each, and then we'll, you like one of these. So the first customer I had, so I got everything ready, I bought more stuff, I fed the ferals, I fed the kids, I got ready, I wore my best cat dad ever shirt. I got my cat ears ready from Dollarama last year. I put them on my hat. But the first customer was 2 very small human children, very, very small, dressed as unicorns. So, and with the dad. The dad was wearing some kind of outfit as well. So I launched into my Nutty Professor shtick, and I'm like, and then it was more for the dad, and he was kind of, entertaining, and so telling me, take one of these, take one of these. And then the next customer was this, I don't know, I can't tell, even children, maybe 10, 11, 12, something like that, human child. It had cat ears, but not a very elaborate costume. And the dad was on the sidewalk. And I got my routine. The professor thinks, I'm not professor, I'm a cat, and we got all kinds of things here, and we're going to put together like a cocktail of different things. And she was like, I go, you want one of these, or you want one of those, like the popcorn. And so far, the few that I've had that that get exasperated at me, they prefer this one, And now I remember from last year, the kids like the popcorn, not the cheesies. So I remember I was eating cheesies myself for months afterwards. It's going to happen again. So this cat one, I launched into my routine. The dad is there, and I'm holding up one of these. Which one do you want? She said, just give me one. I gave it to her. And then she started. I said, look, we're just starting. I'm going to go customers. She said, oh, and then she just stormed off. She didn't have the patience, And she didn't like that professor routine. But the next one, they were older kids, like teenagers, like 14, 15, and they kind of enjoyed it. So I'm like going, I got so much stuff here. So I'm like giving this and I'm giving that, and I will go, and it's the day after Halloween, and Agita's nicely settled there, and the boys are both settled here. They were looking out the window, but they were looking this way because they went to check on the sister, and I try not to trip over the heating thing, wire. It's about 8-9 degrees outside, so I got that window open. Yesterday was okay, Halloween. As I said, important occasion for black cats. But we didn't get a lot of trick-or-treaters, and, I scared one human kid with my Nutty Professor shtick. Nutty Professor, feral cat shtick, but I think I was talking too much. So, you got impatient. They're human kids, I guess, so, they don't have the patience of cats. So, on the whole, it's now full 3 weeks clear. So far, so good. There have been some pulls, and got focused. It was the dinner with my neighbor's friends. That was something I was looking forward to, and that worked out well. Even though the neighbors on the other side couldn't make it because of an emergency with their house, which they're still dealing with. And then, but it was nice. Having and I'm pretty open with the neighbors on this side, so they're Jack's parents, so I don't get the nitty-gritty details, but they have an idea of what my struggles are about in the slithering and without the explicit details. So I've been struggling a little bit, and then I went to the restaurant yesterday for lunch, and that wasn't good. It was not a good lunch. But I'm buying Halloween gifts for the kids and for Jack, and then looking after the kids. Obviously, the number one push. So we made 3 weeks. There were polls today to at least check postings and stuff, which I haven't in like 10, 12, almost 2 weeks, 10, 12 days, or 2 weeks. So that's been a bit of a pull today because Halloween was over. But another thing that's sort of keeping me going now is that I can go back to casinos in exactly 1 month. I was talking to my neighbors about it. I'm probably going to need that control burn if I can make it that long. I'm definitely going to go casinos on December the 2nd, but we'll see. So right now we're back to day by day. Halloween is done, so now I'm back to looking after the kids, eating out. I got a lot of Halloween candy left over. And tomorrow, I'm planning on editing and posting the next podcast. So, day by day, but so I'm kind of back to muddling along. Good morning, everybody. Agita's there. And both of the boys are here, looking out the front window. Just fed the inside kids. And I'm about to go out and feed the outside kids. And speaking of the outside kids, there they are, all 3 of them. So there's Jill, there's Peanut, and you can just about see underneath the bush there. That's Bcee, just on the other side. See her from the other window. There, you can just about see her through the bush there. The kind of brown thingy there. in there. Okay, so had a good, I suppose it was a good day yesterday. Journal entries, got takeout, fed kids, fed ferals, watched a series on Netflix, and exchanged texts with friends and neighbors, and so it was a pretty good day. Today, got up relatively early. It's only about 10:15, so it is definitely morning for me, for us. But I've already fed the kids, and I want to feed the ferals, and I want to cut the back grass, and mainly to start, I've got that catcher thing to start collecting leaves. So it'll take a little time because I'll have to keep emptying that thing. But I want to do that just to keep on top of the leaf situation. So, and I cut the front grass the other day. So all ordinary world stuff. A couple of toys as well. That one's an actual Halloween toy from the pack of Halloween toys I gave some to my kids, inside kids, and I gave some to Jack. And I got a Christmas one. My kids stole so many toys. I thought the ferals might like the fish. We don't have any like water around here, so they probably don't know fish, except from the friskies. But so just I have given them toys occasionally, and I see that one moves around sometimes. I give them a couple of those, and once I was looking, I put it on the bed, and then I couldn't find it, and they had taken it like to a corner or something. So they do play occasionally, My out-of-province cat rescuer friend said that, she's got a lot of rescue cats. But she says at first they don't play with toys because they're just used to, energy going into survival, finding food. Once food and shelter are provided, then they gradually start playing with toys. Now these ones, I've come for brunch. It's a chain, but it's really good. I'm having something kind of different. It's fried chicken Benedict, rather than my usual smoked salmon Benedict or vegetarian Benedict. And I do eat chicken, so it is with egg on top and curly fries. It's really good. A little later in the day, we've got Agita very comfortably settled there on the bed. We've got Finn nicely settled on the cat bed in the right side window perch. And we've got Elsie settled on the left side window perch in the living room. And we've got Bcee just ran that way. She was drinking water, but as soon as I come out, of course, she has to run that way. Bcee there, and I put some canned food earlier. I'll put another can later, sweetheart. So we've got Bcee there, just here. That side of the bush. And we've got Peanut in the heated shelter. So she's had her share of the wet food, and she likes to settle in the heated shelter when it's a little coolish. It's not super cold, it's about 8 degrees or so. But she likes to settle in the heated shelter after supper. So she's in there. And they haven't tried out the new bed yet. I guess when it's a little warmer. But when the other two come, I think that into the shed, they will see the treats there and have them. But, Peanut is not a huge fan of Temptations. She just prefers wet food. So, and I saw Jill just a little while ago. I put some treats on the chairs, and she loves treats, Temptations, so she was eating them on the chair. So, but now, she's probably in the bush there or under the deck. And I'm now back in the living room. The boys, So I don't have all that much to add. It is over 3 weeks clear since the last really, really deep shadow binge. And it's been, I think, 2 weeks since I posted the last podcast. And these days, that's my normal, every 2 weeks or so. And the main news is still clear, pushes stronger than the pulls. Biggest pushes, of course, the kids, all 3 kids, the ferals, plus, as my friend would say, the universe has been offering me, distractions such as the film festival last week. I mean, very small, and but the advantage of a small town is that there was no problem getting tickets, and you can see films all day for $15, and they're pretty good, and the filmmakers were there for quite a few of them. So that was a good distraction, and then there was Halloween. There was a Halloween dinner. I was went for dinner with my neighbors because I wanted to thank them for looking after the fields when we're not here. They take such good care of them. And I had invited the neighbors on the other side, but they had a house emergency, so they couldn't make it. But it was a very nice dinner. That was a nice distraction. And then there was Halloween itself, which is, of course, an important occasion for us. Being, a family of a lot of black cats. Well, these two, Jill and Agita, is mostly black, and I identify as a semi-feral black cat. So we got, that was an event. Very few human kids showed up, though, and I did my Nutty Professor shtick, which scared some of them, but my Nutty Professor, kind of over the top, feral cat shtick, and it was like, but wearing my cat ears. But it was kind of fun. But very, very few kids. So that was a distraction. And now I'm going to get back into writing if I can. I did some writing, and that's the thing. I did do some writing over those 2 weeks, journal entries, some writing about the explorations, how deep I went in the last shadow binge. So all of that, and eating out, getting takeout, ordinary world stuff. And we're back to my the framework that I was using before, Campbell's, return of the hero or anti-hero from the underworld, to the so-called ordinary world, with knowledge or with whatever, with having really, really explored the dark side, the shadow of myself, that is. So all of that, the what I call the feral side, but it's kind of deeper than feral. So all of that, and then we had the tarot card, which was the positive tarot card. So all of that, day by day, just one day at a time. There have been pulls, but for the most part, the pushes have been stronger, much stronger than the pulls, and that's always good news. The kids, the distractions, Halloween, dinner with the neighbors, the film festival, shopping at PetSmart, all of that stuff. So I did more shopping at PetSmart today. I had a brunch out, and and I did look at some of my previous Halloween or Samhain podcasts. And so I'm not going to go over the sort of history of Samhain and stuff like that. And this time I'm posting it after Halloween Samhain. So it's kind of where we are wishing, humans and cats and there are very, very few viewers belated Happy Samhain, So I'm just going day by day, and I don't have too much more to add. And there's Bcee eating the treats that I put on the chair. And you can see back there. She's just come out of the bush because she knows I'm in the house. That's Jill. So there's Jill. There's Bcee. So I don't have too much more to add. And I'll just say, so I can turn on the lights so that you turn them off because it's easier to see the ferals out there. So I just want to say, doing it one day at a time. It's the only way this can be done, but just muddling along. So next goal, 1 month. Next weekend it'll be 1 month, and I'll probably post the weekend after, 2 weeks from now. Just going to keep going with trying to write journals, look after the kids, and ordinary world stuff like, cutting the grass to collect the leaves and stuff like that, So going to PetSmart and watching streaming and trying to do some reading when I can. So, and we got Bcee going back there now. So, I just want to say, one thing I did want to add is that I got to notice that in a month, I can start going to casinos again after the self-ban, and by then I will probably need the controlled burn, So I'm kind of counting the days till I can go to a casino again. I won't go too wild. After a break from gambling, I kind of it's usually a little bit more controlled. But the gambling is so less, so much more, less slithery and less risky, and no other people involved, just machines. So it's preferable to me to an actual pinch, which are getting wilder and wilder and shadowier and shadowier, and dustier and dustier and all that stuff. So I am kind of counting the days. When I said this to my neighbor at the dinner, she was like rolling her eyes, the casino thing. She was talking about partying, no details, but just the kind of stuff I get into. I'm kind of, they see me as a sort of a human version of Jack the cat. So we've got. So that's enough, I think, for today. I'm just going to say bye for now from Finn, lcee, agita, and that's, I think, Jill, just wondering that way. Bcee was back there, and Peanut is in the shed. So from the Firrells, from Agita, lcee, Finn, and myself, the nuttiest, craziest, most fucked up professor to ever walk the face of this earth. One day at a time. Wish me luck. See you next podcast.